Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guest. My first speech is to talk about myself. Curiosity defined me, not only as a small child, but it continues to shape my present. I grew up out in the sticks without a lot of other people nearby, but a lot of land and critters, and a sister who really loved nature. She was stuck raising me as both of my parents worked full-time. She told me I managed to start every question with the word, or every conversation or question with the word why. I had an insatiable curiosity about everything. I wanted to know why the grass was green, why gooseberries were tart, dogs smelly when they were wet, why Pepto-Bismol was suspiciously the same color and texture as calamine lotion, and why Edith Ann looked so old. Y'all remember Edith Ann? Some of you, dating myself. Why remains one of my favorite questions and stock responses. I'm inquisitive about almost everything. I was so convinced that each one of the Crayola crayons had a different flavor that I unwrapped each one and put them on the picnic table and spread them out, and then I ate each and every one. My family was not really terribly amused with the result, unfortunately. My sister and I also played a game where we took turns blindfolding one another. So I would blindfold her and put things like peaches and lemons and cinnamon sticks into her mouth, and she would have to guess what it was. She would take her turn. She was almost 8 years older than me and somewhat more creative and devious, perhaps. She served hot sauce, head cheese, tongue, gefilte fish, guinea pig droppings. I think it was her revenge against me because she was always stuck with me. And there was obviously something not correct about me because I continued to play because I was curious. I would cross out to the pasture and head back to the creek, hopefully with a jar, and grab crayfish and crabs, tadpoles, and I'd put them in the jar and I'd scurry back home to show my sister these cool things I had found because I wanted to know more about them. And that worked out really well when I remembered the jar. Sometimes I forgot the jar. I wore bibby overalls all the time on the farm, so sometimes I would just put all those wonderful finds in my pockets of my bibby overalls. My sister said she never knew what she would find in my pockets when it came to washing time, unfortunately for her. Curiosity continues to define me. I am so very fortunate to have a career that I love as a librarian, where being inquisitive is extremely helpful. In this profession, we never know what will be asked next, from the little guy that comes in who needs to know about frogs, which is always a lot of fun, to the college student who's researching the efficacy of gadafloxin. And I have to say, okay, there's two words I'm not real sure of, but we can go from here. And the Board of County Commissioners, maybe, who need to know about the history of a particular landmark. We constantly hear, excuse me, but I'm wondering if you can tell me why the bees have set up shop in the wall of my home, or why the water glows sometimes. And then we find more information about marine phosphorescence or bioluminescence, or why the books in the library aren't arranged by color and size, which is pretty much going to make us all kind of crazy in the library land. I love being able to put people together with information they need and teaching them how to help themselves in the future. Just an FYI, librarians are kind of a hoot to play Trivial Pursuit and Jeopardy with, because we have all kinds of obscure bits of information. I'm a lifelong learner, and I will continue to seek to solve riddles throughout my lifetime. I am also willing to try almost any cuisine, especially that which is ambrosial. Thank you.